Hi, it's Nick on the 17th of September with the final episode of this week's series of thoughts on the idea of how we see ourselves and the importance of how it is that we see ourselves. So to finish off, and I think one of the most powerful thoughts I've ever, I was going to say come across, but wanted to implement or do implement is like, ultimately there's two ways of looking at ourselves. We can look at ourselves through the eyes of love, or we can look at ourselves through the eyes of judgment. And obviously look at each other through the eyes of love or the eyes of judgment. And certainly, most of my young life, I looked at myself through the eyes of judgment. I really learned to be very good at judging myself, often very harshly, often very unkindly. So really the second half of my life has been the journey of beginning to look at myself through the eyes of love. What would, if there's a God, and if God is love, when God were to look at me or you or anybody, what would he or she see? So it's just this willingness to kind of go, well, if there is a source of love, how would the source of love see us? Through the eyes of love, because if the source of love is incapable of judging, what are we doing judging ourselves? So, what could you do to see yourself more through the eyes of love than the eyes of judgment? Because if you're anything like me, you've got a lot of self-judgment going on. But what if you were to increase your self-love? What if you were to increase your self-validation, self-championing, whatever way you want to think of it, but you just kind of went, there's nothing wrong with me. There's so much right with me. What if you were to think that? And look at the good in you and look to expand and grow that. So that's the end of this week's thoughts on, the idea of how we see ourselves. I will be back tomorrow with another theme. I don't know what that is yet. I usually just wait, ask for inspiration or panic and look at what theme might be fun to do for a week. So I will look at that, and I'll be back tomorrow with a new theme for next week. All right, God bless. Have a good day. Bye.